World Series, Super Bowl 39, and the 2005 Daytona 500. This is Fox Sports. We are
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
This program is sponsored in part by the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews.
They say the show must go on, but how can it when you're gone? There's so many things we'll miss when you leave. Wait, hold on. I have a little idea. Tyler, director guy upstairs there?
Yeah, Trey?
Yeah, I have an idea. Do you think you could help me with some visuals? And let's take these fine people on a little journey.
Yeah, let me see what we have.
All right, something kind of like this. We had ventriloquist and pigs. Yep. Lots of dogs and politics. Oh yeah, President Trump was on. That was a pretty cool show. Let me see. We had Santa playing 20 instruments, XOXO. We had trapeze artists and roller skate people and archery shooters and comedians. Well, some of them thought they were comedians. Not all of them were funny, Gov, but I laughed anyway. You know who you are. You made Keith dress up in fancy costumes. Yikes. Now I have PTSD because you let them throw knives at me. Can some real singers help me out here? Come on, Big Finish, guys, help me out. Go something like this. Thanks for the laughs, thanks for the tears, thanks for the years. Friends are friends forever, it's the Lord of them. I believe in forever, and I'll never say never. What you won't do for love, leave the question why.
If we could flip a coin and never say goodbye,
We can only imagine what God will do. Thanks for the laughs, thanks for the tears, giving us hope when we felt fear, lifting us up and bringing joy to the world. You showed us faith, made us believe by speaking the truth to help us see. With sadness and cheer, our hearts will be near. Thanks for the years. We're heartbroken to what's going on. We just want to celebrate as we watch you sail on.
we're not blind, the show is over.
But daylight brings a new anything for love. Your soul man knows we are true. We can only imagine what God will do. Thanks for the laughs, thanks for the tears, giving us hope when we felt fear, lifting us up and bringing joy to the world.
Huckabee, musician and singer Kid Rock, Kentucky Congressman James Comer, actor and musician Gary Sinise, comedians Rich Little and Shonda Pierce, Olympic gold medal winner Scott Hamilton, and from the Babylon Bee, Seth Dillon, plus music from the Spinners. That's Trey Corley in the Music City Connection. And I'm your announcer, Keith Bilbrey. And now, here's Mike Huckabee!
Wow. Thank you very, very much. 7.5 years, 380 shows, hundreds of guests from all over the world. We started this show with an interview with the then sitting president from the White House, Donald Trump. And we have spoken with presidents of nations, prime ministers. We had a sitting vice president right here in our theater. We have had numerous presidential candidates. Dozens of senators, congressmen, and governors come to this stage. It has been the ride of my life. And sadly, tonight, we landed for the last time and taxi to the hangar for good. Now, as you know, President Trump has asked me to serve as ambassador to Israel. Frankly, well, after this wonderful response, I think I'll say, nah, I don't want to do it. I'm going to stay with the show. Well, frankly, I wasn't interested in getting back into government. I'll be honest, I loved my experience when I was lieutenant governor, and then for almost 11 years as a governor. But I've been blessed to be in the private sector, and I've been enjoying a really good and productive life. And as I've said over the past 2 months, had President Trump asked me to babysit some bloated federal bureaucracy or oil the machinery of some massive monolithic agency, I would have politely said, no thanks. But he called out of the blue, and he asked me to go to Israel as his ambassador there. And that, I could do nothing less than the prophet Isaiah and say, here am I, Lord, send me. And should the Senate confirm me in the coming weeks, Janet and I will pack up and make the most impactful move of our 50.5 years of marriage, and we will set our faces toward Jerusalem. Now, I do hope you realize how scary it is to know that your future is in the hands of the U.S. Senate. Now, we've lived in 12 places over the years. The longest that we've ever lived in our marriage is the governor's mansion in Arkansas, which, by the way, was the only house which we were evicted from, and that being government housing. First place we ever lived was half of a tiny, and I mean tiny, duplex. There was barely 2 rooms and a little kitchen, and we paid all of $40 a month for that little apartment. And by the way, at $40 a month, it was terribly overpriced. We've owned some wonderful homes, and we've ended up living better than we ever dreamed. God has been good to us, but we never imagined we'd be pulling up stakes and moving to Israel. God does have a great sense of humor. My first trip to Israel was almost 52 years ago. I was still a teenager, a month shy of my 18th birthday. It was the beginning of a deep love for the country and the people there. And like a magnet, I was drawn to go repeatedly. I've taken tens of thousands of people there over the years. But my next journey there won't be a tour, but a task for which I urge you to pray that God will give favor and grace to accomplish. This show has been beyond wonderful to be part of. Now, you only saw the main faces of the show, Keith Bilbrey, Trey Corley, and me. What you didn't see were the dozens of people behind the scenes who really do the heavy lifting of making the show something special, something very bold for a Christian network. Matt and Lori Crouch, who lead TBN, believed in us, and they gave us the resources to put a show on each week that equal or, frankly, exceeded the production quality of anything on television, period. And that was not so much my doing as it was the highly skilled, top of the heap people behind the cameras, the ones designing the lighting, operating state-of-the-art sound booth in the theater and for broadcast, the incredible team of producers, production assistants, people running the control room, and those working backstage to make every guest feel at home and comfortable. And our audience experience team made every guest who came to watch in person feel a part of the show. Now, here's something you may not know. We've had almost 64,000 people come to our show in person from all 50 states and numerous foreign countries. And if COVID hadn't forced us to suspend audiences for about 14 weeks and then limited our audience in the transition, we would have had over 76,000 people in attendance. Now, here's what'll just really surprise you. 70% of our audience was from out of town or out of state. Our show has had impact on hotels, restaurants, and retail businesses right here in our home of Hendersonville, Tennessee. We've had some of the greatest musical legends performing on our stage. We've had acrobats, many magicians, and some novelty acts that had us worried. We helped you laugh with some of the best comedians in show business, and we always kept it wholesome and family-friendly. But tonight, we unsaddle the horse after we take our final ride. Thanks to our incredible team who made it work, for TBN in investing in a show that we can all be proud of, and to our many on-air guests who brought their stories, their experiences, their expertise to our stage, and to our audience at home for helping us be the #1 show on the network, as well as our weekly studio audience who came just to see how we made the sausage. Most of all, thanks be to God, who we trust was glorified by what we did and how we did it. I won't say goodbye, but rather good night. We'll see you again somewhere, somehow, some way. Maybe in Israel, maybe back here in the U.S., or maybe, just as the hymn says, when we all get to heaven. Thanks for the memories. Well, we are going out with a bang, not a whimper, in this special 90-minute episode of the Huckabee Show. So stay with us. We will be right back.
Well, coming up next, we have Kid Rock and many more stars and surprises on deck for the 90-minute finale of Huckabee. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back after this short break.
One of my favorite places in all of Israel, the beautiful Sea of Galilee. But right now there's an enormous level of tension here. Many of our Jewish friends are hurting. This is the land that God has given to the Jews. But the people of Israel now face attacks from 7 different fronts, including Iran. Since the massacres of October the 7th, Israel has been hard hit by more than 20,000 rockets and drones. People often ask me, what can I do to help? Well, I wholeheartedly recommend the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews.
With hundreds of homes ruined or destroyed, the fellowship is on the ground, bringing emergency food to the elderly in urgent need. In this 7-front war, it's the fellowship's mission to help the weakest, those who have no safety net for basic food.
For years, I've seen firsthand how the fellowship powerfully touches hearts and lives when they learn that it's Christians in America who want to help them. Your emergency gift of $45 will help send hot meals and a food box to an elderly Jew who's relying on the fellowship for their next meal.
This kitchen is only a mile from the border with Hezbollah, and our volunteers are risking their lives every single day just to prepare the meals. It's because the Fellowship is a Bible-believing ministry. We need our faithful TBN family to join with us now and in the very difficult months ahead.
It's time that God-fearing people stand with our Jewish friends. We have some hot food and respond to God's calling on all our lives to bless his people, Israel. Please call or go online now.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Well, listen, it's amazing news that Governor Huckabee has been appointed ambassador to Israel. The bad news is that his show is coming to a close. It's an amazing show, but Governor Huckabee is an amazing person. I cannot wait to see what he does as ambassador to Israel. I'm not sure that there has ever been a more pro-Israel ambassador to Israel than Governor Huckabee. Truly an amazing person. Again, sorry to see the show come to an end, but can't wait to see what Governor Huckabee is going to do next. It's going to be amazing.
Well, if you saw the Republican convention, you know my first guess is the living embodiment of how Trump's GOP is not your grandparents' GOP. He's an international music icon who has sold over 30 million albums spanning genres from rock to rap to country, and he's a passionate supporter of our troops and of America. I want you to give a very loud welcome to Kid Rock. Well, your fan club is here tonight.
All right.
Hey, I am so thrilled to have you here. I love what you do for this country, what you do for our veterans and our active military service members. Why do you care so much about those folks? Because you go all over the world entertaining them and caring about them. Why?
I'd like to meet the... Let's see here. I'd like to meet the people that don't. I mean, because I love America. I love our country. I love freedom. I love Jesus.
Yeah.
I love being able to play rock and roll, and country music and rap, and and just everything this country embodies. And the people who fight for it, obviously, we can't thank them enough. And I know you do the same. So right back at you.
You have done something very few artists have ever done, if anybody, and that is you span the spectrum of the whole music industry. I mean, you do rap.
There was a little song about it. I think Barbara Mandrell did. I was country when country wasn't cool.
Yeah. What do you think has been the secret to connecting with an audience?
Well, there's no secret. It's first and foremost hard work, period. It's, dedicating yourself to your craft and what you do. And it's a lot of time spent alone in your bedroom when you're young and missing school functions and proms and homecomings and things. And there was something, I was into sports when I was young, and there was something that just grabbed me from the music. I was a very young teenager, and something got a hold to me.
And you grew up in Michigan, and I'd have never understood, but there is a disproportionate impact in the music world from people from Michigan.
You have the Industrial Revolution, that started. So there were so many Southerners that came to make that $5 wage. Some people stopped in Chicago, where the blues scene started real heavy. A lot of people kept going to Detroit to work in the auto plants, and which is basically what Berry Gordy based Motown on. A lot of musical history from Detroit and Michigan.
And you're going to do something this year that I think is incredible. 10 massive shows. You're going to small towns across America, launching in April in Livingston, Louisiana. It's country, it's rock, it's everything in between. I mean, most artists go to big cities, big arenas. You're going to all kinds of towns that artists of your caliber don't go.
It sounds so simple. When we created this festival, Rock the Country, I said the messaging needs to be unapologetically, this is for hardworking people who love this country, period. And thank you. And it sounds like the simplest, most common sense thing on earth. And lo and behold, nobody else was doing this, was in this space. Everything's got to be this, inclusive DEI crap, with this, that, and the other. And it's like, It's like, hey, we just want to say, we don't care who you are, what you're into, this, that, and the other. You want to have some fun? You work hard, you love this country? Get in here.
Well, I've looked at the bill of people that you're going to have with you in the course of these shows. It's absolutely, I mean, this is going to be something that, I mean, people should drive for hours and hours to go be a part of. And then on May the 5th, 16th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, you're going to do something that is going to be extraordinary. Rockin' Rodeo. Bringing rodeo and rock and roll. I mean, two of the things that, personally, I love. My wife and I sponsor a couple of cowboys in the rodeo circuit.
All right.
So we're excited about this, and I'm just thrilled. You're going to fill that place up.
We did last year. It was our first one, and we're doing it in conjunction with the PBR. We formed a league. And where it's different in rodeo is it's teams.
Yeah.
Teams. So you have teams competing against each other, so everyone's not just going on the clock. Here's the beauty of the sport. There's not too many sports I can think of, especially in this day and age with all the transgender crap and all this stuff going on, you know, men and women's sports, that actually women compete with men on the same team, and it's only because they are the best at what they do. You know, women are just great barrel racers.
Yes, they are.
You know?
Well, I want to tell you how grateful we are for you to be here on this last show. I admire you for your talent musically, but also for your business savvy. You are a true American entrepreneur. You've had a huge impact on our culture. But more than that, you have stood unapologetically for this country. You love America, and we love Kid Rock. And thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Kid Rock. I know you want information on the Rock the Country Festival or the Kids Rockin' Rodeo 2025. And if to do that, go to his guest page at Huckabee.tv. Find out how to get tickets and be there. All right, Keith Bilby, why don't you tell us who's coming up next in the show?
Well, don't you dare go away. We have actor, musician, and humanitarian. Gary Sinise is up next on Huckabee.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Do you need to know how to operate a computer? Hi, I'm John Scherer, CEO and founder of Video Professor. You know, our product is quick, it's easy to learn with, and you can try it for free. You know, over the years, millions of people have learned how to operate their computer using my product. We get letters, happy letters, every day. People emailing us or writing us, thanking us. But the most rewarding thing for me is when people stop me on the street and tell me how easy it was for them to learn to run a computer using my product. If you just want to learn to run a computer once and for all, save yourself a lot of time and a lot of energy, try my product. Put your CD in the CD tray, the lesson plays right on your computer. It works just like a VCR, just follow the step-by-step instruction. I'm so confident my product will work for you, I'm going to send it to you absolutely free. The reason I'm going to do this is because I know that once you try my product, you'll come back to us for all your computer learning needs. So, it's simple. Try my product.
Call 1-800-359-9803.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
I know you're going to keep us proud. You're going to uplift God's name, and you're going to bring us all together as a nation and as a world nation. I'm proud of you. Again, congratulations, and we're all rooting you on, my brother.
Well, for this finale of our show, I especially wanted this next guest. He's not only one of America's most honored actors, but he is a true hero to America's troops, veterans, and first responders. I want you to welcome our friend Gary Sinise. You know, Gary, every time I see you, I'm always tempted to say, Lieutenant Dan.
Go ahead, do it.
No, I'm not going to do it because I already did it. But, hey, it's a great joy to have you back, and thank you for coming to be with us. You know, when we talk, I can't help but focus not so much on the acting career. We all appreciate the extraordinary talent that you have brought to both the big and small screen. But man, you've done something for this country in your love of the veterans and through the Gary Sinise Foundation that we all ought to applaud, and that is you have given your heart to this effort. It's a joy to watch. And you know, for some people, they may lend their name to something. You lend your heart to it. You give it all. And that's something that I think I've admired most in watching you. It's not just a thing you say, yeah, I'm going to do something. Why? What is it? I asked Kid Rock that. I want to ask you, why?
Bobby went like this. Well, I love America, man. I mean, that's it.
That's a great reason.
But I agree with him.
Yeah.
You know, I love this country. I love the men and women who fight and defend this country, and they deserve our support. They deserve 100% us backing them up every step of the way.
Yeah, and you've played a lot of roles. I mean, everything from Harry Truman to Lieutenant Dan and a lot of things in between. But this is not a role you play. This is a life you live, and I think that's what makes it very different. This past year, you've been involved with something that I've been so very admiring of. You took the music of your son, Mac, who died on January the 5th, a year ago, and you produced it, and all the proceeds are going to the foundation to help people. Your son was a brilliant artist.
The first record that I came out a while ago, and you helped get the word out about his first record. It's called Resurrection and Revival. He finished it just prior to his death. And he wanted the proceeds from that record to go to help the foundation and our mission. He worked for the foundation. And so after I was on the show, I mean, the people called up and ordered a lot of records, and all those proceeds go to the foundation. And then after he died, I discovered all this additional music in his files, on his laptop and in his Dropbox files. Beautiful stuff. Some I'd heard, but a lot of it I hadn't heard. And it was so beautiful, I had to do another record. So I went to work on it with his producing partner, Oliver Schnee, and we produced this, part 2.
Resurrection and Revival, part 2.
Yeah.
So now people can get the second edition of Mac Sinise. Gary, I think some of us as parents, we cannot imagine the loss of a child. We don't want to imagine it. And we're not supposed to bury our children. They're supposed to bury us. What have been the coping mechanisms that you've had to deal with over the last year to realize that, you know, you loved your son, you watched his talent, he's not with us? How do you cope with that?
Well, it's, you know, for anybody, you know, we've all lost someone we love, and the loss of a child is very difficult. My heart goes out to anybody who's gone through that. You know, we were blessed to have him in our lives for 33 years. We were blessed that he was so talented, and he left us all these musical treasures. And especially for me, I had this project, you know, to go to work on for him. Discovering all this music was like he was sending me a message or something. And so I thought, I can't just leave it all on this laptop. I've got to get it out because it's really good music. And so a lot of it is so good. And so that helped me through this last year, no doubt. And Mac helped me cope with it. And the fact that our family, you know, was able to kind of support me in the creation of the record. And they've been so wonderful and so supportive. And we've got a strong family, and that certainly helped get us through. And then knowing that this is now selling, part 2 is selling, and doing exactly what he wanted with the first record, which is raising money for the Gary Sinise Foundation. You can get that at GarySiniseFoundation.org. That's where you order the record, and all the proceeds go to help our men and women who serve our country and the families of our fallen heroes. And I've met so many of them, and just knowing how they cope with their grief and their loss and the difficulties there, that certainly I learned a lot from them, and that's helped me through this last year for sure.
I think the therapy that you have been through in putting the music together of Max Sinise, Resurrection and Revival, Part 1 and now Part 2, gives us all an understanding that you don't get over something, but you learn to live through it and with it and do something very positive and productive. And Gary, you've been doing that your whole life. And I'm just grateful that you're sharing Max music with the world. And I hope that people will get Part 2. If you didn't get Part 1, order them both. But if you already got Part 1, you're going to want Part 2. And if you go to Huckabee.tv, we will connect you to the Gary Sinise Foundation and a link to get your copy of the Max Sinise album, Resurrection and Revival, Part 2. And you can even get copies that are signed by Gary Sinise. Makes it even better. Well, speaking of better, Keith Bilbrey is here with some information on who's next on this star-studded finale. Keith?
Well, we have a treat for you. Rich Little and Shonda Pierce are coming up next on Huckabee.
We'll be right back after this short break.
We can't think of a better way to honor this season of giving than partnering with you to bring the message of love, hope, and grace to more women.
Visit bettertogether.tv/give today. Your gift will help us spread the gospel across the globe.
This is Joseph Newgarden. Joseph was conceived to win races. Stopped drinking milk at 2, picked it back up at 32. Good for strong bones. Tell that to his clavicle. Joseph's like an action hero who wins even when he loses. This is his wife, his Tuesdays, his hand-eye coordination. He might have the greatest jawline in sports.
He's not that handsome.
He even wrote a children's book about winning. America loved it. Joseph loves the smell of unleaded gasoline. He hates imperfection. He doesn't believe in magic, but on Sundays, Joseph flies. This is Joseph Newgarden. Welcome to the fastest racing on earth.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Oh, my friend, I'm so happy for you. And I'm so happy for all the people of Israel. What a wonderful thing that you're going to bless that country and all its inhabitants. Thank you for the way you've blessed my life and so many lives. Love you with all my heart. God bless you, my friend.
Thank you. Well, Rich Little is known as the greatest talk show guest of all time, and he's certainly been that for us. I'm so happy he can join us for this special finale. He has made more appearances on our show than any other guest, and for a reason. Would you please welcome the king of celebrity impressionists, Mr. Rich Little. Rich, did you know?
What a thrill to be on your last show.
I know.
I can't believe it.
Because if you hadn't come tonight, we were never going to ask you back.
That's funny. That's funny.
You know?
Wait.
Hey.
Hello. I have been here almost as much as he has.
Almost. Ladies and gentlemen, Shonda Pierce, give her a big welcome. How are you?
It's just so funny. I know that you accidentally forgot to introduce me. I'm sure.
No, I knew you were
have
going
a
to.
lot on your mind.
I do, but I think I knew that you were going to go and introduce yourself. So I wasn't worried about it.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited. I should have brought you some bacon. You're going to need it. I've been to Israel with you like 15 times.
A lot of times, yes, you have. But all the times that I've taken you over there, do you know how many people wanted me to leave you there? More than you can possibly know, but I always believed that I should bring you back.
Aww.
And I did.
That's so precious.
You got to promise to come see me there.
Well, I will.
Okay.
I will see you there.
Well, you know, one of the things we're going to do tonight, Rich, you and Shonda are going to play a little game with us that we've been doing on the show before, and it's called Law or Gnaw. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to test how well you have gotten to know me over this time. Now, I'm going to tell you something about my life, and you have to decide whether it is law, which means it's true, or whether it's a gnaw, a dirty, rotten lie.
Yeah, they spared no expense on this last show. They covered my Uber ride.
Whoa, there you go. Here's our question. When I was a kid, I went on a Boy Scout hike, and I stepped on a copperhead snake, a poisonous snake it is. It nearly bit me. Is it law or gnaw that because of that event, I am terrified of snakes today? Hold up your paddles, law or gnaw?
Well, you should be.
Okay, we got mostly law, but a few gnaws. All right, here's the
I
answer
thought
to
you were
that.
going to say terrified of hiking.
I want to tell you something. That is a true story. It is a law. And I got to tell you, I am so afraid of reptiles that I will not even have James Carville on this show. That's how bad it is. Yeah.
Nor Adam Schiff either.
For a lot of reasons, I wouldn't do that.
There's a lot of snakes in the Liberal Party.
Yes, indeed. Okay, our next question. Is it a law or gnaw that the first date my wife Janet and I had was at a truck stop? Law or gnaw? First date at a truck stop.
Well, I say it probably.
They must know what a redneck I am because that's the truth. It was the first place.
Wow.
Yeah, first date.
That's
January
because
the
Chuck E. Cheese didn't exist.
Yes, that's right. January the 29th, 1973.
Wow.
And the reason we went to the Fulton truck stop, it was because in our little town, nothing was open after her basketball game. She was a star basketball player, and we went on our first date, and that was the only place that was open, the truck stop.
Oh,
so there we did.
Star.
How about that?
She probably married you so you wouldn't tell that anywhere.
Too late now. Too late now. Okay. I really wanted to take her someplace nice like the Waffle House, but we weren't big enough in our town to have one of those. So, okay. Next question. When I was governor of Arkansas, I had a classic rock band with members of my administration, and the band was called the Little Rockers. We even opened for Charlie Daniels, Willie Nelson, Grand Funk Railroad. Is that a law or is it a no? Look at that. Lot of laws here on that one. Okay. It's really a trick question, so let me be fair. Believe it or not, everything I just said was true. I did have a rock band with my staff from the state capitol, but the band was not called the Little Rockers. That was the name of the band that I had at Fox News in the show that I did there. The band that I had and still have, in fact, we're playing this weekend at the governor's inauguration in Indiana, and we're playing at a presidential inauguration party for President Trump's inauguration. That band is called Capitol Offense. Because we all worked at the Capitol and our music offends everybody.
Wow.
So it was a trick question. Okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
Most important thing of all that you should know about me, is it a law or gnaw that in 2005, I was named the #1 barbecue chef in Arkansas? Law or gnaw? Yeah.
Give us a hint, Jim.
A lot of folks are saying law. They're thinking it could be.
I'm going to say no.
You're so negative.
Well,
Wow. Okay, it is false. But if you said it was true, I'm giving you credit because it should have been true. It should have been true.
yeah, right.
Oh,
You
man.
came in 423rd.
Now, your son David, he could make the barbecue. He's a good cook.
Where do you think he got that?
Jan, your
Yeah.
wife.
I can imitate you.
You probably could.
You probably could. Well,
If
okay.
you could do the governor, we'd still have a job next year. Come on.
I know.
Well, anyway, hey, now that you know more about me than you ever wanted to, if you'd like to learn more about Rich Little and Shonda Pierce, here's what you do. Go to Huckabee.tv, and I hope you'll do it. By the way, I love both these people. They're the funniest people in the world. We've had them both on the show so many times, and I just adore them. I can't imagine closing this show out without having Rich Little and Shonda Pierce here to be with us. Right now, Keith Bilbrey, tell us what's coming up.
Well, stay tuned for a performance by Rock and Roll Hall of Fame group The Spinners. They're next on Huckabee.
We'll be right back after this short break.
The thing that I love most about God is the fact that Psalm 119, verse 68 says that God is good and that God does good. Now, why I love that is because it doesn't matter if our circumstances are not good, that doesn't change who God is. I just want to remind you today that sometimes people are not good, but God is still good. Sometimes circumstances are not good, but God is still good. And God does good. And God wants to do good in and through your life. You are not an accident. You are not a product of time. You're a product of eternity. God has plucked you out of eternity. He's positioned you in time, filled you with gifts and talents for the purpose of serving your generation. Your greatest days are ahead of you. Your God is for you. Your God is with you. Your God has put His gifts and talents on the inside of you so that you can change the world around you. You are destined for greatness.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Well, the Spinners just released a new album, Full Circle, celebrating their 70th anniversary of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame group's formation. Now, you'll find a link to Full Circle and all their music and tour dates at Huckabee.tv. Now, performing their classic hit, I'll Be Around, with Trey Corley and the Music City Connection and Mike on bass, here are the Spinners!
Oh yeah. Hello everybody. This is our fork in the road. Love last episode. And there's nowhere to go. Oh no, you made a choice. But now it's up to me to bow out gracefully. Though
Mike, it's Kevin Sorbo.
And Sam Sorbo.
Congratulations
on the ambassadorship to Israel. We're very excited
You
for
go there all the time anyway, so you had this job a long time ago. But we're going to miss doing your show, sir. But God bless you, and we wish you all the best.
Yes, congratulations, and we will see you in Jerusalem.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Hi, TBN family. Mike Huckabee here for Vinia, the remarkable red grape superfood for better blood flow. You know that my faith in staying healthy is very important to me. That's why I've taken Vinia every day for 3 years. Vinia was developed in the Holy Land by brilliant scientists to give us better blood flow. The Bible makes a lot of references to the health benefits of wine and grapes. Jesus' first miracle was all about turning water into red wine. Paul says to Timothy, use a little wine for thy stomach's sake and thine often infirmities. Well, today, scientists have discovered that red grapes are rich with a powerful blood flow boosting antioxidant called piceid resveratrol. Each Vinia capsule has the same amount of piceid resveratrol found in 1,000 grapes or a full bottle of wine. Now, I don't drink, so what I love about Vinia is for the first time I can get, and you can get, the health benefits of a bottle of red wine, but without the sugar, calories, or alcohol. You want proof? Vinia has been shown in the clinical trial to increase the dilation of arteries for better blood flow. Better blood flow gives me the physical energy I want. Better blood flow means more oxygen can go to my brain to give me the mental alertness that I need to be at the top of my game. The Lord led me to Vinia just when I needed it. It's a gift from God, the perfect marriage of Scripture and science. And now my friends at Vinia want you to try Vinia risk-free for 90 days. If you don't feel more physical energy and more mental alertness, Vinia will refund every penny, no questions asked. I really think if you try Vinia, you'll love it as much as I do. Call or go online to get your first month free. Vinia, better blood flow, better life.
Go online or call 800-905-5324 to learn how you can get 1 month free. Call 800-905-5324.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Gather, congratulations, Ambassador, to our dearest and closest friend, the State of Israel. What an honor, and you're going to do just a tremendous job. I know it, because you got the right attitude. I mean, you got the attitude that Paul told Timothy in 2 Timothy 4:7, my favorite scripture verse, fight the good fight, finish the course, keep the faith. You're going to bring that attitude to work for our great country and our dear friend, the State of Israel. And this special bond between the United States and Israel, the Judeo-Christian heritage that's there, you understand that so well. So we know you're going to do great work for President Trump, for our country, for the State of Israel. God bless you and your family.
Welcome back, everyone. Joining me now is someone whose new book called All the President's Money, Investigating the Secret Foreign Schemes That Made the Biden Family Rich. It raises a lot of questions about how President Biden was able to become so wealthy while serving in office. Would you please welcome one of my very favorite heroes in the Congress, House Oversight Committee Chairman and Congressman from the 1st District of Kentucky, James Comer. Congressman, welcome. What an honor to have you here. Thank you. Got a lot of fans out here. If all those people vote for you, you're in.
And I need them in Kentucky.
I want to get right into this book because it's pretty, I mean, it's a powerful story of how the Biden family has been able to take public office and turn it into a money tree. Now, why aren't we hearing about this?
Well, the media was given orders by the Democratic National Committee, people like George Soros who were funding the outside groups who were writing the stories that the media copied and pasted to indoctrinate into people that there was no evidence, the Bidens did nothing wrong, that Joe Biden's ethical and honest, and his son is just, he just had a drug problem and Republicans are picking on him. When we started subpoenaing bank records and bringing people in for depositions, we saw that this was a very elaborate scheme that they used to sell access to our enemies around the world to the tune of $35 million. And according to the IRS whistleblowers that came forward during the middle of our investigation, Gary Shapley and Joseph Ziegler, they never paid a penny of taxes on that money. So I think this is the biggest public corruption scandal in our nation's history. And it's not just about the Bidens, it's about the government agencies that knew what they were doing, but covered it up because they didn't want Donald Trump to come back to power.
And now he's coming back to power. But I think a lot of people are looking at this and saying, okay, so it's horrible. Now what? What can happen? What should happen and what will happen?
Well, I hope people are held accountable. We all know that Joe Biden said his son did nothing wrong, but then he gave this unprecedented pardon that dates back over a decade and would cover anything.
Yeah.
Anything from a speeding ticket to money laundering to sex trafficking to anything. And that's an admission of guilt. Hunter Biden will get in trouble. He's like O.J. Simpson. He's going to get in trouble at some point. I want to see the people held accountable in our government because our government's set up, as you know, Governor, for checks and balances. If you have a corrupt president, you should have a Department of Justice or an FBI or a mainstream media that provides the truth to the American people, and there's checks and balances to make sure that people don't abuse their power. But the checks and balances have all tilted to the left. Hopefully that'll change on January 20th. But we want to see that people that knew about the cover-up, people in the Department of Justice and the FBI, just think about the 51 intelligence officials that signed a letter saying that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. That was election interference. And what we found out in the investigation, most of those intelligence officials knew when they signed that letter that it was, in fact, legitimate. It was not Russian disinformation. So, we've got a problem with our intelligence community. I hope Kash Patel and I hope Donald Trump can drain the swamp and just disrupt that agency and put people in that restore confidence in those agencies.
I think, and the audience agrees, America, I think, really agrees with that.
Yeah.
It's not about retribution and revenge. It's about accountability, a word you used a moment ago. The thing that I find fascinating is that you're not just saying, hey, I read a newspaper article in some conservative magazine. Mm-hmm. You're chairman of the Oversight Committee. You have the power to subpoena bank records, to get things that I can't get, nobody else can get, but you can get them in that role. So when you say there was $35 million that were funneled, that's not conjecture. That's from what you have actually personally seen in records.
The book goes into detail. It talks about every payment, every wire. 6 different banks, 6 major banks, all alerted Treasury over the years that the Bidens were money laundering, that they were violating the Foreign Agents Registration Act, that they were susceptible to bribery, that these companies that were sending them money they felt were what's called state-owned entities. That means that's a financial term meaning it's the country. It wasn't a business in China that was sending the Bidens money. It was the Chinese Communist Party.
That's what's frightening. We're talking about the controlling party government of China has enriched the Biden family, and government agencies in America who knew that looked the other way and pretended it was all okay. That's what's so frustrating.
When people say, what does accountability look like to me, I say it's to hold the government deep state bureaucrats, the career bureaucrats that nobody knows who they are, that are sitting in a cubicle, sitting in a desk somewhere, that are making decisions. They're abusing their power. There's no oversight. I don't think Christopher Wray, who I have no confidence in, he lied to me so many times, I'm glad he's gone, but I don't think he knew a lot about what's going on. This agency has grown to the point to where the FBI, not only do they not have the confidence of the American people, there's no one overseeing it. There are no checks and balances there. You've got to not just get rid of Christopher Wray and not just get rid of Merrick Garland, the Department of Justice. You've got to get rid of the top 2 layers of bureaucracy, the bureaucrats that are protected by merit, that are protected by tenure, that the law says you can't fire them. Trump needs to go in there and fire them and let them sue him and let the American people see a trial of why Donald Trump fired these government employees.
I hope that happens. Folks, I want you to go. I'm not going to ask you to buy a book. Here's what I want to ask you to do. Buy at least 2 of these books, one for yourself, and give the other one to somebody that you know, maybe someone in your family that says, Joe Biden has never done anything wrong. Look, this is a book that spells it out and has the facts that's documented and footnoted. So I hope you'll, again, don't buy one, buy two or more, keep one, read it, and it'll make you so angry you'll buy a dozen of them and give them to people who need to know what really happened. If you want to keep up with Congressman Comer on social media, go to his page at Huckabee.tv. We will connect you. Right now, speaking of connections, Keith is going to connect you with a little preview of what's coming up next.
Well, Olympic gold medal figure skater Scott Hamilton up next, right here on Huckabee.
We'll be right back after this short break.
We need you to get involved. Our goal is to bring the life, the hope, and the grace of the gospel to more women around the world. That's more life-changing conversations, more languages, and more lives changed. You can visit bettertogether.tv/vision to learn how you can partner with us today.
They've been called the best comedy team of all time.
Congratulations! Oh!
Larry, Moe, and Curly, the Three Stooges, like you've never seen them before. Digitally restored and remastered to bring you the Three Stooges Classic Collection. All your favorite short films collected onto 3 DVDs. You get all the slapstick, all the madness, and all the side-splitting laughter in one hilarious comedy collection you'll want to watch over and over. The Three Stooges pioneered the situation comedy and became a household sensation, making us laugh, slapping our knees, and shaking our heads.
Come on, kid, please say something. Something?
These three friends are the forefathers of comedy, and now you can bring home the very first sitcoms ever created with the Three Stooges Classic Collection, featuring their all-time funniest short films. You get 19 episodes, almost 6 hours of riotous comedy on 3 DVDs for just $29.98 plus $5.95 shipping and handling.
One for all for one. Every man for himself.
Now you can laugh alongside the real kings of comedy and relive how it all started with these zany adventures the whole family will enjoy again and again. Physical comedy never goes out of style, and the Three Stooges are as timeless as ever.
My! Ain't she pretty?
Boy, you can say that again.
My! Ain't she pretty?
Shut up. Don't miss out. Call now to own the Three Stooges Classic Collection DVD set. And if you're a true Three Stooges fan, ask about these other Three Stooges Classic Collections. Call now to order the Three Stooges Classic Collection for just $29.98 plus $5.95 shipping and handling. Or order online at TVAtlas.com. Rush delivery available. Call now.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Governor, just wanted to congratulate you on your appointment and also mention that I'm very happy that the adults are back in charge.
I believe in your mission. Thank you so much for saying yes. Remember Psalms 122:6, pray for the peace of Jerusalem, and those who do will prosper. Now, Esther 4:14, for such a time as this, you are called. God bless you for answering that call.
We just found out that you're going to be the ambassador to Israel. They couldn't have picked a better one. And your resume, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. There's great father, great husband, great TV star, great presidential candidate, great governor, great... I know there's a lot more. Anyway, we love you, and awesome. Yay. Mwah!
You are meant for this appointment. Your respect for Israel and the commitment to strengthening the ties between the two nations has been unwavering. Israel is not just one of our closest allies, but a cornerstone of stability and peace, and I can't wait to see how God uses you there. By the way, Gov, if your skills in diplomacy are even half as good as your cooking, Israel should be excited to have you.
I'd like to take a moment to thank you for the wonderful treatment you gave us on your show just a few months ago. And by the way, congratulations, Ambassador Huckabee.
I know you've been to Israel many times. It has your heart, it has your soul.
and I know you're going to be an amazing representative from our country to theirs. You know, I've enjoyed our friendship so much through the years since we first met in Little Rock at a forestry conference. And then you came to a Rolling Stone show a couple of years after that, and you've been kind enough to have me on your television program a few times. I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for our friendship. So do good work over there. I know you will. And remember us back here, and I know we'll be in touch. God bless and all the best.
We want to wish you well on your new journey. We hope that you love it. I know that they are honored to have you, and we're going to miss you so much.
And whenever that term is up and you can come back, we need you to come and play bass for us.
We're missing our amazing.
Otherwise, because we were a little sad knowing that we have to go all the way, might have to go to Israel to get our backup bass player, but we'll figure it out. So we love you.
Congratulations on being ambassador to Israel. We are going to be here cheering you on, and we look forward to maybe coming to see you sometime.
Such an important role, and we love you and your family, and just want to wish you all the best.
Yeah.
Have a great last show. Don't get too weepy.
Yes. The emotion might
flow. That's okay. Just let it out.
That's
man.
right.
Jeanette will be there.
That's right.
That was so very, very wonderful seeing those great videos from Friends. Speaking of Friends, Scott Hamilton is a gold medal figure skater, 9-time Olympic commentator, and he's a best-selling author and speaker. He's also a cancer survivor whose foundation, Scott Cares, funds research into cutting-edge cancer cures. Please give a wonderful welcome to a great American, Scott Hamilton.
My feet don't touch the floor. Look at those skinny pictures. Look at that one. I don't have that belly anymore on the right.
I'll tell you though,
got some cool friends.
what you did on the ice, my goodness, man. I mean, it just gave all of us thrills because we're looking at that. We say, we can't ever even imagine doing that, much less that you go out there and do it in the Olympic Games.
I couldn't either. No, really, honestly, it's like I look back on all of it and it's like I never would have thought to dream it.
Mm-hmm. When did you start skating? How old?
I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
I was in hospitals from the time I was 4 to about 8. They sent me home with no diagnosis, and they just said, just see if something happens and if he grows out of it. So to give my parents a morning off every week, there was a brand new skating rink in Bowling Green State University in Ohio. And I'd go to the rink, and I realized as the sickest, shortest, littlest, weakest, estest kid, that once I started figuring out I could skate as well as kids. And then I could skate as well as the best athletes in my grade. And all of a sudden it was that first taste of self-esteem. And it was like, I'm a rink rat. You're gonna have to threaten me to get me off the ice. This is all I wanna do. And I spent a lot of years trying to figure out how to get past my losing, because I lost a lot. And then once I sort of started to get a taste of it, and then I lost my mom to cancer, and then she was my source of inspiration. I took her to the ice with me every single day because she was the most spectacular woman I'd ever known, and I wanted to honor all the sacrifices and everything else that she offered, and I just took her to the ice with me every day, and then I went on a tear like nothing else, and it's like, how did that happen? And even to this day, I look back on the competitive record and all the opportunities that came afterwards, and it just doesn't seem possible.
Yeah, but I look at that from a distance, and I'm thinking, this is a God thing. Yeah. I mean, for you to have had 100%. The childhood you had,
100%.
Nobody would have said, hey, this guy's going to be an Olympic champion. He's going to get a gold medal.
And the punchline was, I was unintended, unwanted, and put up for adoption at birth. So it's like, I'm an accident. Like,
no, you're not. God had his purpose.
I was chosen.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
And, God is so good. And my wife, Tracy, and our family, we've just poured into our faith, and we're just so blessed to live in this Nashville community, which, as you know, has sort of got a light, shining straight up into heaven. And it's been an amazing place of growth and healing and opportunity, and just to bless this community as we've been able to bless it, and just try to offer hope. Like Gary Sinise and I were talking about, I'm partnering with my foundation with his to help find a solution to Mac's problem. And there was no hope for him.
Yeah.
When I was diagnosed with my testicular cancer 27 years ago, there was a 95% chance of survival. 50 years ago, it was 5% chance of survival.
Wow.
A guy named Larry Einhorn, Indiana Hoosier, research scientist, came up with a solution to my problem, and we need to be able to do that for everyone.
And I think that's one of the things I admire about you, Scott, is, give it up for Scott Hamilton. No, it's like, but what you have done is you could have just said, okay, I'm so glad I'm better and I'm healed, but you've created this CARES Foundation, and now you're doing research. You're pouring your life into people that you don't know, but whose lives are going to be saved because of the research and the help the foundation is giving them.
The greatest gifts given are to those that will never know the source of that gift.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So when my mom passed, I became a fundraiser. And I did that for 20 years. And then I went through cancer myself. And I realized that this could be so much better. I went on Dr. Google, as everybody does, right, to try to figure out what's wrong. And all I got was 12-syllable words, and I realized that I was too dumb to be sick. And I feel there's a lot of people like me out there that don't know the meaning of 12-syllable words, so we created chemocare.com. And I was giving a speech recently. Chemocare.com is a website where you can learn everything you need to know about chemotherapy. Every single drug is listed, how they work, side effects associated, and how to manage the side effects in 8th grade English and Spanish. And with Google Translate, any language in the world. So I was doing a speech locally for some oncology nurses, and I was talking about what I do in cancer. And I created this thing called chemocare.com. I was the organ grinder's monkey for 5 years to get it funded. And I go, has anybody ever used it? Every single one of them raised their hands.
Wow. Wow.
So that's why we do the work. We do the work because we can actually, if we just hit the pavement running, we can touch lives in a really powerful way, and we can change the experience. We can give people hope and confidence. And with the CARES platform, we've had 94 partnerships we've had over the last 10 years.
You know,
and
Scott,
it's amazing and miraculous, and the hope is spectacular.
And there's nobody I know that doesn't love you.
Oh.
No, I mean that sincerely.
As long as you like me, that's good.
But the joy, the exuberance, I sometimes like, Scott's great. If we could just get him to be a little more enthusiastic, maybe that. But thank God for you. You've lived a wonderful life, but it's now maybe giving the greatest part of all, and that's what you're doing for people.
As are you.
But, well, thank you.
As are you.
But how grateful we are.
Well,
thank you for
God
being
bless
here.
you. Be safe.
Thank you.
And,
thank you. Well,
I miss you already.
Thank you. For Scott Hamilton's booking info, to have him come speak to your group, what a joy that would be. Or to learn more about his cancer charities, visit Huckabee.tv, because we'd love to connect you to Scott Hamilton. Now, Keith is going to do a triple spin, a double axel. He's going to take the show in a new direction. So, Keith, take it away.
Seth Dillon from the Babylon Bee previews his new movie and shared some hilarious headlines, so stick around. Oh, by the way, it's not too late. Go to Huckabee.tv and get your very own made in the USA Huckabee merchandise. All before it's gone, 50% off. Don't miss it.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Ah, there's the know-it-all. What he lacks in time spent on Earth, he makes up for in time spent watching football.
These days, offense wins championships.
Actually, of the last 23 Super Bowl winners, 16 have had top 10 defenses.
But you definitely need a first-round QB.
Ever heard the name Kurt Warner? The punky QB known as McMahon. How about 17th round Super Bowl champion Bart Starr?
There's no number that can measure his football IQ. With NFL Plus Premium, you too can be a football know-it-all.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. I wanted to say congratulations, Governor Huckabee, or should I say Ambassador Huckabee. There could not be a better choice for ambassador to Israel, and I am so proud to call you friend. We're behind you 100% and couldn't be more excited for the adventure that lies ahead. Thank you for everything you've done and will be doing. Congratulations, my friend.
Welcome back, everyone. We have so many wonderful guests out here in our studio audience. One that I want to call attention to, a dear friend of the show. He lives right here in the neighborhood. Ricky Skaggs is here in our audience. And Ricky, would you stand up? Let us love on you. One of the greatest musicians in the world and one of the finest Christian gentlemen that I have ever known in my life. Well, I am delighted to have here with me a guy who has been having a fantastic time making fake news great again. I'm talking about the CEO of my favorite website, the Babylon Bee. And its CEO is Seth Dillon. In addition to the hilarious headlines and the articles that they produce every day, they now have their first full-length movie out. It's called January 6th, the most deadliest day. Here's a preview of that right now.
It's been over 3 years. Our democracy, it died that day. But the Babylon Bee put together a team that would avenge our democracy, to help us never forget to remember.
Jewish space laser, dodge, phantom zone.
Quick follow-up question. Why are you evil?
Shame! I love Trump.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Did Trump supporters break this potted plant?
You just did that.
January 6th, the most deadliest day. Streaming exclusively on BabylonBee.com.
Would you give a warm welcome to one of my favorites, Seth Dillon? You have no idea how grateful I am to you and the Babylon Bee, because on days when I just feel like there's nothing to be happy about, I read the stuff you guys put out. It is the funniest. And sometimes, Seth, what I find so crazy is your comedy is, I mean, it's like based on what's really going on in the world.
Yeah. Prophetic sometimes.
Yeah, frighteningly so.
We have over 100 jokes that have come true, which is both funny and extremely disconcerting at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, so sometimes what I find amazing, Babylon Bee will put out something. It's clearly a satire. You say at the beginning of the head, this is a satire.
Yeah.
And then you get fact-checked.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be kidding. Somebody oh, that's not true. We fact-checked that. I mean, do you just want to laugh at the idiots who want to fact-check a satire?
Some of the most ridiculous jokes, too, like AOC goes on The Price is Right, guesses everything is free. Or Ninth Circuit Court overturns death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You know, that was fact-checked. USA Today cited 15 sources in their refutation of that joke. So I think the most important jokes to tell are the ones they don't want you to tell.
Yeah.
The problem is, you know, when the public discourse is happening on these privately owned social media platforms, the powers that be, they can take your voice away if you tell a joke they don't like. And so, yeah, we were in Twitter jail for 8 months before Elon busted us out of there. We were sharing a cell with Donald Trump.
And both of you guys have come out gangbusters. I mean, so I've come up with a list of some of my favorite Babylon Bee stories. Israel asked Hezbollah to please wait by pagers for a message announcing the start of the ceasefire. I mean, that's funny. They will get this. Here's another one. Drone problem solved after they try flying over Texas. You know, when I saw these drones flying over their Jersey and nobody was shooting at them, I said, try that in Texas.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And you guys had it. Okay, let's look at the next one. Life alert buttons to be installed at every congressional seat. I mean, we got members of Congress that have been in assisted living for months.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not funny, but this is funny.
But hold on, we have more though.
Oh, we do?
Yes.
Okay.
We've written some headlines for you as kind of some parting shots as you're taking off here. With Huckabee Show ending, millions of Americans forced to settle for Greg Gutfeld.
He'll love that.
Mike Huckabee achieves peace in the Middle East by providing both sides with free trial offer of Relaxium.
I bet I could get that done.
You can change the world.
Yes.
Compassionate Trump provides job to yet another unemployed Huckabee. All right, one more for you here. International incident after Mike Huckabee smuggles briefcase of bacon into Israel.
That's not a joke. I'm really going to do that. You know, that's going to be one of the hardest things. Hey, let's talk about the movie. Sure. Because not many people are willing to take January the 6th and just say, look, this was a little bit overblown in terms of the way the coverage, like the worst thing, worse than 9/11, worse than the Civil War.
Worse than all of it combined.
Worst, yeah. So were you afraid that you would go over the edge with this at all?
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, it's kind of one of those untouchable things, right?
Yeah.
They certainly don't want you making light of how, they take it so seriously and want you to take it so seriously. I mean, obviously what happened on January 6th wasn't great, but to exaggerate it to the extent that they did, I think the worst outcome, the worst part of what happened with January 6th is how the government has been going after patriotic Americans who are merely present there. Many of them, didn't do anything violent. They were just on the Capitol grounds, very briefly, shooting some selfie videos, smiling, and they end up with the FBI raiding their homes and taking their stuff and putting them in jail. And so, the response, the overblown response, that we felt like this was really something that deserved some lighthearted mockery. Just kind of mocking the idea of how seriously we've taken this. And so the film is filled with all these jokes. Ocasio-Cortez was murdered 7 times that day. Like just ridiculous, overblown kind of mocking how it was taken so seriously.
One of the things I love about the Babylon Bee is that you prove that the best way to overcome those who are hateful and vicious is to mock them. To use mockery as a form of basically putting a mirror up and saying, have you really looked at yourself lately? Because that's what mockery is.
Yes.
It's holding a mirror up to somebody who's acting ridiculous and forcing them to look at themselves. Listen, I think what you're doing is phenomenal. I cannot tell you how thrilled I am. Your creativity, the staff you have, you're a gift to America, and I hope everybody reads the Babylon Bee every day like I do, because it is just wonderful.
I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, the movie, January 6th, The Most Deadliest Day, it is available now to watch. And if you want to, and I think you do, go to Huckabee.tv. We will connect you and how to stream it right now. Keith Bilbrey is one of the many of this amazing crew that has been with us since the very beginning. And as we near our final segment, Keith, I want to ask you for the last time, tell us what's coming up next.
I'll get my Kleenex handy here. Coming up, Governor will give his final thoughts and say goodbye. You do not want to miss it.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Bo knows baseball. Bo knows football. Bo knows basketball, too. Bo knows tennis? No. baseball, you don't know diddly.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Best dad, best grandpa, best TV host, and best governor. And soon, America's best ambassador. It can be hard to keep track of all of my dad's titles and accomplishments. He's had an amazing career in Arkansas and across the country, and has been a rock-solid conservative voice for generations. He's also probably Israel's best friend in the United States. He's been going at least once a year for more than half a century, and I still consider the time he took me to the Holy Land to be one of the most transformational experiences of my childhood. So I'll admit that I'm a little sad my dad is moving thousands of miles away, and my kids are a little sad that they're losing their best babysitter. But this is the peak of a career spent defending our values, speaking up for our faith, and offering a strong, clear, common sense voice for our principles. Dad, we are all so proud of you and what you've accomplished. And I know that in Israel, you're going to be a voice for peace and America's greatest ally. Congratulations on your final show. I love you, and I can't wait to visit you.
Governor, a few years ago, we stood in an empty room here. Never thought that 380 shows later, you would have helped us communicate what we got communicated to, you know, this entire audience of yours and Huckabee. And you know, you've just taken us to a whole nother level. And we wish you Godspeed. And we'll see you in Israel. You know the saying of, see you in Israel next year and next year in Israel. It's actually this year in Israel now. And thank you for everything you did.
Thank you, Matt.
God bless you, friend.
I love you and Lori.
Yeah.
Thank
Godspeed.
you for believing in us. Thank you for making the show possible. Wouldn't have happened without you.
Godspeed.
I love you. Thank you.
I just want to bless you into your new season. We have adored you. We have loved you. We have these people from all over the country, from all over the world have come because they love you. They love what you stand for. And we just bless you.
Thank you.
In the name of the Lord to go and do what God has called for your next assignment. And just know that you are dearly loved by all of us. And we're going to miss you very, very much.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you guys. Thank you. Well, it's not enough to say that we hope you enjoyed this special edition of the Huckabee Show, because we hope you've enjoyed 7.5 years of our bringing to you information, inspiration, entertainment, and encouragement every week. From our very first show in 2017, we all felt like we had created something special. Now, you saw the finished product, but what you didn't get to see was the teamwork, the camaraderie, the sense of family that bound our entire staff and crew together. Most all of us would say that this has been the most fulfilling atmosphere to ever work in. We laughed together in happy moments, and we cried together when one of our team members went through painful crises in health or family. We lost members of our team to death, and some, well, they moved on to other jobs or careers. But one thing that never ceased was a loyalty to the task and to each other. If it looked like we were having fun, it's because we really were. We never did have to fake it. And when people ask me, how do you like doing TV? I'd always say, boy, it sure beats working. Now, it sounded like a joke, but it has never felt like work. And it's why that after 380 episodes, it still feels brand new. I never dreaded the trip to Hendersonville each week. I couldn't wait to get here. And forgive us if there are some tears along with our smiles, because we're gonna miss doing this show. We're gonna miss informing and entertaining you. And believe me when I say, we will really miss each other. And the absolute pleasure of working together in a culture of mutual respect and dedication to excellence. To our faithful viewers, thank you for making us successful. To our sponsors, thanks for believing in us and keeping us on the air. And to the TBN network, thanks for creating us and giving us the liberty of doing an unconventional show unlike anything attempted on a faith-based network. And finally, to our incredible team, thank you. I love you guys. I'll forever be grateful that God gave me the joy to work with you and call you family. It's truly been the ride of my life. And I say good night and God bless.
Biggest events are on Fox Sports. Home to the World Series, Super Bowl 39, and in February, the 2005 Daytona 500. This has been a presentation of Fox Sports.
Fox Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League. For NFL news and highlights, go to NFL.com.